Governments around the world are legally prosecuting Wikipedia editors, and people are asking, is it okay if I read Wikipedia? Is it okay if I edit Wikipedia? And I'm telling you that editing Wikipedia is not a crime. In November 2024, in response to the government of India calling Wikipedia editors to court and accusing them of spreading misinformation, the Wikipedia volunteer community of editors organized and signed a petition and open letter to the Wikimedia Foundation, which is the corporate nonprofit steward of Wikipedia as a technical platform. The volunteer editors were asking for protection, for guidance on what to do in response to this, and just for information about how to react to this kind of governmental persecution. And while I appreciate that the Wikimedia Foundation did everything that they're supposed to do, the lawyers of the corporation need to protect the corporation. They can't be talking about active court cases to random volunteers on the internet. Still, in response to this very large petition, I'm unsatisfied as a signatory, and you can check the talk page archives of the petition. Staff of the Wikimedia Foundation just never initiated a conversation with the volunteers. No one from the Board of Trustees engaged in a conversation with the people who signed this letter. I want something more. Now, I appreciate that while the staff of the Wikimedia Foundation and the volunteer community usually work together very well, and in this case, there still is no conflict. However, staff of a technological company, they have one perspective, and the volunteer user community has another perspective. And to some extent, the volunteer community needs to advocate for itself. They can't be looking for representation in the staff because the staff are just not part of the Wikipedia community. The staff's role is to follow the hierarchy of organization in the corporation. So, what should the volunteer community do and think in response to this? The government persecution, it has a chilling effect in itself. It scares Wikipedians and it prevents them from wanting to share information. People second guess what kinds of topics they should edit and whether they're going to face some kind of punishment or attack or harassment for editing certain topics. But besides the chilling effect, which comes from government persecution, the lack of conversation and response from the Wikimedia Foundation has its own chilling effects. Besides being a signatory to the letter, I'm also a journalist for Wikipedia's community newspaper. It's called The Signpost. And at the time of this court case, I wrote lots of community journalism, interviewing Wikipedia community members who knew something about this, looking at other media sources, and I published this in our community newspaper. And there was a lot of confusion and uncertainty from my fellow editors. Is it okay for me to be talking about this publicly? What information should I share? I ask people at the Wikimedia Foundation for some guidance, but they just don't get involved in community journalism, and I totally understand that. It's not their place to do so. Yet, there is a chilling effect in journalism if we don't get some kind of response or conversation from the Wikimedia Foundation. It's not just in our newspaper. It's in all of our organization. The Wikipedia community is organized online into chapters, sometimes by region, sometimes by special interest. I happen to be a member of Wikimedia New York City. We had questions about whether we should talk about these kind of court cases among ourselves. Is it safe to do so? Are we putting people at risk? What kind of boundaries should we set? And again, the Wikimedia Foundation just doesn't intervene in these kinds of community affairs. It's not their place to do so. New York City is an unusual place. There's a lot of journalists in New York City, and we in the volunteer organized community, we had questions about the extent to which we should talk with journalists in New York City so that they could report on this kind of attacks on Wikipedians and free speech. Besides the community journalism, the mainstream journalism, Wikipedia community organization, I am a Wikipedia researcher. I've been doing scholarly and academic development of Wikipedia since 2012. These days, I'm at the University of Virginia. All of my research is Wikipedia related. And as I try to collaborate with my colleagues in various departments of the university, they also have questions. They ask, what does the Wikimedia Foundation say about doing research on sensitive topics? What are our limits here? And the Wikimedia Foundation, they just don't have conversations with university researchers. It's nobody's job to do so. So what should we as a Wikipedia community do to make sure that we're organized to protect ourselves and to define our limits? Well, I don't have all the answers to things, but I know that the Wikipedia community wants conversation. And I know that the Wikipedia community and the people who signed this petition, they are not entirely satisfied with the response. There was very little response. Again, you can check the records about these things. But I have an answer for you. Wikipedia is the encyclopedia which anyone can edit. It's also the only very large internet platform which is self-governed by its users. And if you don't see yourself represented in the Wikimedia Foundation, you can represent yourself. There is an election for the Board of Trustees, and I'm standing as a candidate in that election. My name is Lane Raspberry. I'm user Blue Raspberry. And I'm asking for your vote in the Wikimedia Foundation election for Board of Trustees. The election is at the end of August, beginning of September 2025. This is the most important election on the internet. If you're a Wikipedia editor, you have a right to vote and get representation. Now, if I'm elected, I'm not promising to change the Wikimedia Foundation. I'm also not saying that I'm going to change my own behavior. What I'm telling you is that I already do community journalism. I already collaborate with Wikipedians online and in organized groups, and I already do Wikipedia research. And the only thing that I would say, if I was trustee, as a matter of this, is that it's okay and encouraged for the community to have conversations among itself and to organize peer-to-peer protection and social networking to respond to these kinds of things. The case in India is not the only case. I'm going to quickly go through a few cases. So the case in India was about a news agency, which was the plaintiff to the lawsuit. They were concerned about Wikipedia editors developing information about military. And there's so many countries around the world involved in some kind of military conflict. The government weighs heavily on Wikipedia editors who are sharing any kind of media or information about its military issues. This happens so many times. They also, in addition to not wanting Wikipedia editors to talk about the military, they did not want Wikipedia editors even talking about the existence of the censorship case. And the court ordered Wikipedia to remove the Wikipedia article about the censorship case itself. India is just one country in the United States. The central government is threatening to remove Wikipedia's nonprofit status, saying that Wikipedia is sharing propaganda. You can read the letter for yourself. There's a lot of accusations here. In the United Kingdom, August 2025, the government is demanding that Wikipedia ask for the identity cards of all editors. And if Wikipedia doesn't provide these things, the government may remove access to Wikipedia for all of the United Kingdom. This is happening in Portugal as well. This guy filed a lawsuit. You can read the Wikimedia Foundation's response here. I appreciate that the Wikimedia Foundation staff have a response, but this is not a conversation. I want something more. All of these countries have a pattern of behavior. They are all saying that either Wikipedia censors and removes information, and that the Wikimedia Foundation turns over identity information of certain Wikipedia editors, or else the country will remove access to Wikipedia for everyone in the country. I'm not alone in wanting to respond to these things. There's so much more that we could do if we were organized. As I said, I'm a researcher at the University of Virginia. We have a school of law. There's so many law students, law experts, and law faculty who would do research in the public interest and advise us on these things if we would just give them an invitation. I'm in the School of Data Science. We do artificial intelligence research. I would like to do so much more. There's so many kinds of things that we can analyze, sentiment, summarizing these kinds of conversations among community members, helping to go through a democratic process where everyone has a voice and everyone's represented as we do collective decision making in Wikipedia. And we have a School of Public Policy writing white papers and recommendations that activists can present to legislators and affect social change. This isn't just about my university. This is every university in the world could be more engaged in Wikipedia. There's something called the Wiki Education Foundation, which for many, many years has collaborated with so many universities to get professors and students and research groups active in Wikipedia. We could scale this up in the United States. We could take this global because every country in the world has a stake in accessing free and open information, and university partners are essential to make Wikipedia successful. As I said, I like talking with journalists. I'm a chatty person, and I wouldn't need to change my behavior at all to encourage more journalists to write about Wikipedia. If you want to see some of the interviews that I've given, they're on my Wikipedia user profile. Again, I'm not talking about doing things new. I'm talking about just being myself in the normal way and not sharing private information. But I think we should be more open about sharing the information that's public and that people want to know. Besides the journalism, again, I'm at a school. I collaborate with so many Wikipedia community groups, schools, journalists, and Wikipedia community groups, and Wikipedia editors who are individuals online. They should all talk about the public information that's available anytime the safety of Wikipedia editors is threatened. Thank you so much for hearing me out. My name is Lane Raspberry, user Blue Raspberry. Please get out the vote. You have a voice. Please participate in Wikipedia community elections. Thank you.